Welcome back to part 3 of my experience with Target Oil and Gas and drilling Bell County #1, for those of you who are keeping track. I believe, I can't even remember where I left you off at. However, by this point in the game, Phoenix is drilling a well, wildcatting basically with no geology and no direction from Target Oil and Gas. Now, it had been raining quite a bit there. And it was really muddy. And every time equipment would come and go, it would shove a lot of mud and gravel onto the paved road down below. And one morning I get on my four-wheeler, and I'm going to head up and check out how the drilling's going. And I get to the road that comes off the pavement and up the graveled road to the well site. And there's like 5 or 6 cop cars there. And there's like a couple of highway patrol, a couple of vehicle enforcement, and I think even a sheriff's deputy. They're all there having a powwow outside their vehicles. And there's like this much mud on the road with gravels the size of your fist, because this stuff would just get shoved off that gravel road or mud road by this point and onto the paved road. And apparently one of the neighbors had complained. So I drive up to the cops and I said, "Can I help you guys?" They said, "Well, who's in charge?" And I said, "Well, it's my property." I said, "These are, I guess I can help you if you need some help." And they said, "Well, we need to know who's going to take care of this road. The mud needs to get off the road, now, or this project's going to get shut down." I said, "Okay." So I said, "We'll take care of it." So I drove up to the well site, and I said to the rig foreman, I said, "Look," I said, "I got half a dozen cop cars down there." I said, "They're looking to shut this down." I said, "If you're looking to get any more equipment up here," I said, "they can't make it up that road in their patrol cars, or they'd be up here." I said, "But I guarantee you the next time somebody comes to deliver something to you, they're going to turn them around, maybe even impound their vehicle." And he says, "Well, did you try calling Mike Smith?" I said, "I can't get a hold of Mike Smith." And he said, "Well," he goes, "this is not our job. Our job is to drill this well. The company should be here taking care of shit like that." And I said, "I understand that." I said, "But as a favor to me," I said, can you help me out with this?" And he said, "Well, I'll call our company and see what they can do." So as a favor to me, they called their company in West Virginia and had somebody from West Virginia come to Bell County, Kentucky, with a Bobcat with a front loader and a water truck to hose off to squirt off the road. And that seemed to alleviate the problem with the cops. However, the cops stayed there, and they were there every day from that point on to make sure the mud was taken care of. So, ultimately, the rig operator is right. Their job is to drill a well. They don't have time to fool with that other goofiness. That's really what the company should be doing. And I ended up getting a hold of Mike Smith later that night, and I was like, "What the hell's going on? Why don't you have somebody, And I told him the whole scenario. I go, "What the fuck?" He actually got snippy with me and said, "I pay somebody $600 a day to be there." Well, he was talking about his brother Greg. I said, "Well, if you're paying Greg $600 a day, you better get a refund because Greg ain't been around." Which is true, I don't know what the hell happened to Greg, but he damn sure was MIA. So anyway, I'll skip ahead to the evening before they were done drilling. So I head up there about 11 o'clock at night, and the rig operator's on the phone. He's yakking on the phone, and he sees me pull up, and he does one of these numbers here, okay? And then he gets off the phone, he comes out of his truck, he walks up to me, he says, "Hey, here's what's going on." He said, "I hit a gas well for you." He goes, "It's not a very good gas well." He goes, "But it's a gas well." He said, "I can't get a hold of anybody at Target whatsoever." He said, "I just got off the phone with, I think it was Doherty, but it was another gas company's geologist." He goes, "I just got off the phone with, we'll say Doherty's geologist, and he suggests we go down 3,000 feet. Because they were permitted to go 3,000 feet. And I said to him, "Well, your permit allows you to go to 3,000 feet. Why wouldn't you?" He said, "Because my job is to get a gas well for you." He goes, I think we're at 2,300 feet at this point. He goes, "This well is a natural well." He goes, "It's not a very good well." He goes, "But it's a well." He goes, "If I go down to 3,000 feet, he goes, I may lose this well for you." He goes, that natural fracture may collapse. And he goes, "And if we don't hit something down below," he goes, "you're screwed." And I said, "Well, I said, how long will it take you to drill, the other 700 feet? He goes, we can be done by the morning. And I said, so what you're telling me is right now you've got a small gas well, nothing to write home about. A geologist tells you that you should go down to 3,000 feet. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll see you in the morning. And he said, are you telling me to go to continue drilling? I said, yes, I will see you in the morning. And he said, okay. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I mean, there was no Mike Smith, there was no Greg Smith, there was nobody from Target, and there was damn sure no geologist from Target making any decisions. And I thought to myself, what the hell, roll the dice. And in retrospect, it was a pretty ballsy thing to do, because a lot of investors had a lot of money put into this project, and here I am, somebody who knew nothing about any of this stuff, going ahead and making the call. But you know what? Hey, somebody had to. So anyway, the next morning I get up bright and early and I head up the mountain, and I'm smoking a marble. I don't smoke anymore, but at the time I smoked. And I got this marble hanging out of my mouth, Marlboro Light, and they see me come over the crest, and they freak out, and they're waving their arms and going like this, and acting like they're putting out cigarettes, and then I realize they obviously hit a well. So I put out my cigarette, and I go up, and I go, how big is it? He goes, it's a big one. I go, well, how big is a big one? He goes, it's a big one. I go, I don't know what that means. He said, I got a well logger coming in half an hour, and he'll let you know. So I wait around, the well logger comes. He comes up to the well, turns around, and walks up to us, and he goes, I can't log it, it's just too powerful. And I go, well, how big is it? He goes, it's big. I go, well, you got to give me something better than that. He said, well, he goes, it's about 3,300 psi, and he said, I would have to say somewhere around 4, maybe 4.2 million cubic feet a day. He goes, it's a monster well. I'm like, wow. I mean, everybody that was on that drilling rig, they were patting me on the back saying, man, Jed's a millionaire, And I was really, I was thrilled to death about it. And thank God I made that decision the night before to go ahead and let them keep drilling. Or we'd had a little piddly well. But anyway, I'm going to leave that here and come back for part 4. I don't want each one of these to be too long, so stay tuned.